Hey guys! This is Flirty, Dirty, and Bookish. Welcome to the dark side.
Listen if you dare.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are finally talking about Little Stranger by Leigh Rivers. I knew about this book obviously before I knew about Edge of Darkness because it was a lot more popular. I won't say it is because Edge of Darkness is finally taking off. But when I read this universe, Little Stranger was a hell of a lot more popular. But I couldn't get past the spider thing, and I was just like, and I'm not scared of spiders. I just couldn't. I was like, why would I want to? And then we read these books, and so I decided to read Little Liar. Obviously, Little Stranger and Little Liar makes the most sense to read them, and I loved them. I fell in love with Malachi Weiss. I got over the spider thing, although I will stand by that the Itsy Bitsy spider scene is so creepy.
Yeah.
But these books are definitely worth reading. Once again, yes, we talk about our opinions on this. Just gonna put this really in here, but we're talking about opinions based off of things that happen in this book. So if you haven't read it yet,
spoilers.
yes.
Yeah.
So if you haven't read it yet, come back and listen to this later. Or if you don't care about spoilers, go ahead and listen to it now. But
I would stay.
because she has not a patient bone in her body.
No.
Not a single one.
No.
But yeah, so we can get into it. So I think, honestly, there's so many different aspects. This book is different in the way that it's not like flashback chapters. It's like the entirety of the first half of this book is in the past, and then it is present day.
Yeah, and the same thing happens. I mean, we're not talking about Little Liar right now, but the exact same thing happens in Little Liar. But the first half
points of views,
is only Olivia's.
Yes.
That's all you're getting. You don't get a single Malachi chapter until the next book. Well, no.
And then you finally...
You get a Malachi chapter in part 2, but you don't get a...
You don't get a single past Malachi chapter until book 2, which is why the second book also starts with the past, because now it's him reliving his past and what happened with him, and it kind of needs to be that way. They couldn't have been done at the same time, because the reason for that is if you don't have his past POVs and you just have his present ones in the first book, it makes him feel creepier and more mysterious, which is kind of how Olivia's feeling, because she's not really sure what's going on. So it's necessary to how you are going to read this. So no, you cannot read part 1 and part 1 of each book and then go and read part 2 of each book.
Yeah.
You have to read it the way she wrote it. But
well, let's just say, I'm just gonna say, my red flag is that Malachi Weiss is my type in Little Stranger.
That is her red flag. Yeah. That is her.
And he's scary as fuck in Little Stranger.
I remember reading this and remember you saying you love Malachi, and I'm reading this
love him.
He's terrifying.
Yes, he is. He really is. But I still couldn't get over the brother sister. It's not the fact. It's not the fact that they are.
It's that
not blood related. They're not blood related. It's just
it's that they say it. And
thank God.
and it's not just this book that I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that in every book. Even our lovely Jan Wright, when she did Fractured and they called each other brothers.
She also did that in Puck Boys of FU.
Boys of FU. And honestly, in Puck Boys of FU, it felt more of like a jokey thing because it was like a step sibling thing. They'd come into each other's lives a little bit later. It was still gross, but it didn't gross me out as much as the whole adopted sibling. We have the exact same parents. We called them both mom and dad. And then you're calling each other brother and sister. It's even weirder. It makes it worse. When step siblings do it, it's still gross, but at least you're not calling each other's parent mom and dad. You're calling the same people mom and dad. I really can't have you doing the brother sister calling each other that. It's weird. It grosses me out.
And on top of that too, she's like, we can't do this, you're my brother. And I'm just like,
I know. It
Ugh,
feels so wrong.
Like that's
it
worse.
feels wrong. It's
Because
just,
like for example, like Puck Boys where they're um step siblings and later in life, like whatever, he him and her say like our parents, like his dad, her mom.
yeah.
Like that's how he's like saying like our parents would be mad. He's not
Hmm.
saying mom and dad will be mad.
Yeah. It's so much worse when it's like
It's
that.
every time it just gives me the heebie-jeebies, but that's sort of the point. It's
It
supposed
Hmm.
is,
to.
the whole book is supposed to give you the heebie-jeebies, and she definitely accomplished that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It gives you the heebie-jeebies, but it is a really great book. You
love it.
do have to be into the darker side of dark romance. This isn't some middle ground. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it, but if you read Devil's Night and you're like, I love dark romance, I'm sorry, it's not really truly a dark romance. You cannot go from Devil's Night to Little Stranger and be expecting the
The
same
same.
results.
Mm-mm.
You're not
Leigh
gonna get
Rivers
them.
is something else.
You gotta
Yeah.
work your way there. You can't just go straight to it and be like, oh, it's going to be the same as Devil. It's not. Devil's Night is like very
Yeah.
beginner level. Here you
Yeah.
go. It's technically a dark romance because it doesn't fit in any other category. You can't really call it a contemporary romance.
Mm-mm.
It's not a thriller. It's not a horror.
It's a dark
So,
contemporary romance.
yes. So it's the beginner level of dark romance. That is where you should start. But Little Stranger is where you should be ending. Like that's around where it gets dark as
Oh,
it's gonna get.
there's worse. No, there's worse for sure. We just haven't read worse. There's
Yeah.
lots of TikToks that are
I've
like,
definitely heard of a lot worse,
yes.
but like just in general though, I feel like it's not necessarily everything that's going on. It's just that how creepy he is. And or not how creepy he is because I love Malachi, but like how you're made to feel about him in the first book. And then there's like, it's the brother and sister thing, like just things that you really gotta be ready for
And then there's
before you read
part
this.
two of book one.
And part
Part
two is
two,
where the most iconic audio sounds have come
but
from.
but right before we get into part two is where the tide shifts in this book from creepy heebie-jeebie brother sister into I'm trying to kill my
Oh
dad and
God.
then on you like fuck
Yeah,
you on top
like
of him basically.
that moment was just it
That was
was
the turning
it's
point for the
well.
entire book.
Yeah, okay,
Hmm.
so like people say, and this is why I said at the beginning of this, there's gonna be spoilers, because this is one moment where people aren't like they never like fully spoil it online unless they put a spoiler warning, because everybody knows it's a common knowledge before you go into this book, if you're on Book Talk, Dark Romance Book Talk, you're gonna know that him and her fuck over a basically dead body, and that he's the one who put it there. But what is never said unless it's a spoiler video is that it is their father. That is
And
so
he
you don't
beat the
go into
shit
it
out of
knowing
him,
that.
threw him down the stairs, beat the shit out
Yeah.
of him more,
And then
and
fucked her on top
then
of him. And
yeah.
was like, oh, and the whole reason that he ended up beating the shit out of their dad was because he had caught them in the act because they
Yeah.
just couldn't make it to the bedroom and did it on the stairs. And it's like, and it was kind of like, you can't take my favorite toy away from me. Like, how
Yeah.
dare you? So it's
Yeah.
very, and then obviously another common known thing about this is that Malachi wears a gas mask, Malachi loves his pet spiders, and that the biggest one of all is that Malachi is mute. And I think that's another thing that gives you the heebie-jeebies. It's
When you're
not that he,
not in his head, yes, because you have no
yes,
idea what's going on.
what's going on, what
Yeah.
he's
And the
thinking,
way that
but
he
it's not,
communicates is like
yeah.
very blunt and do this, do that, come
Hmm.
here, go here, blah blah blah. Like,
Yes, but I think the creepiest part of it is when you are in his head for the first time and you're like, "Whoa, what's going on in your brain?" But also it's when he like we learned that he was obviously he went to prison for trying to kill his father. That's what breaks that's what gives the 6 years in between part one and part two. He was in prison. But so obviously like he had to do something in there, so he was teaching himself how to speak again because he's not mute because he's mute because of trauma and he chose to stop speaking, but now it's become like a thing where it's like almost impossible for him to. His body doesn't remember how.
Well,
He
when
doesn't
you've
remember
gone like
how.
20 years without speaking
Yeah,
and
it's
making a
gonna be
sound, you have to train
Yeah.
your vocal cords to work again.
yeah.
Hmm.
And like how to move your mouth in the right way, your tongue, like everything. So it is like anyway. But while he's in prison, he had a lot of time, so he learns how to speak, or he's learning how. He's still not very comfortable with it. He's not gonna walk down the street and have a conversation with someone. Like that's not gonna happen. But when he starts speaking to Olivia for the first time, and she's never heard his voice, so she's not sure that it's him, and you're just like not sure what's going on, and it's so creepy.
Because he kidnaps her, drugs her,
Mm-hmm.
ties her up, his spider is crawling all over her body, and he's going, Itsy bitsy spider. And I'm
And
just
you're
like,
like, oh, so you learned how to sing that song. But like if you listen to the audio of it as well, like obviously in the
oh,
book, like it tells you that he's stuttering and he's having not the best time getting these words out. But when you listen to it,
it's
the
creepy as
audiobook is
fuck.
done so well that it is so creepy, like gives you the chills.
And
This book
the
is like definitely
sorry,
a
sorry, fucking
fucking
sorry.
sorry. That
Like,
word should be abolished from the English dictionary.
yeah,
But it's just like,
it's crazy. Like this, like
mm-hmm,
the narrator of this did
an
so
amazing
good.
job.
So good.
So good.
Because
But
that's the first chapter you get is him watching Olivia and he's losing his shit. Why didn't she answer me?
mm-hmm,
What is she doing? Who's she talking to? She
yeah,
said she's sorry, blah 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 blah. And he's going insane.
yeah. I think, and also, okay, so with the first book being the entire first part is Olivia, you're not really sure how you feel about Malachi. Like, you're kind of like, you can really only feel about him what she's
Kind of
feeling in that
feel
moment.
like sometimes I
Bad,
felt bad for
but
him.
sometimes you're pissed at him because he does something and we don't really know what he's thinking in that moment. But from an outside perspective looking in, it's like an asshole thing to do. It's
Yeah.
dickish.
But
And
then I
later
love
on, we'll
him when he
talk about
comes and
this.
saves her.
Yes, we'll talk
Like
about this next week, in more detail because we finally get in his head. But when you do get in his head, you end up like being like, "Oh, that's why this happened, or that's what he was doing in this moment."
he
Blah, blah,
sort of
blah,
seems
blah, blah.
normal.
Yeah, almost.
Once you're
A
finally in
lot of
his
it
head,
just makes more
Yeah.
sense. So it's
yes.
Yeah.
just, yeah.
But I think honestly, this book probably, I won't say it destroyed me more than Edge of Darkness did because I don't think that's possible. But it was on its own level of heartbreaking at certain moments when you finally are in the second part of the book and you finally are getting Malachi's POVs. You're not getting the POVs of someone happy either. He's been in jail for 6 years, the girl that he loves. The only person he has in his life is doesn't want anything to do with him. She testified against him. That's the reason he's in prison. And not only that, you find out probably one of the saddest things ever, and it's one of the hardest audios I have like I have the hardest time listening to this audio. Anyway, so the letters that he wrote to her and her never answering any of them ripped my heart out when you find out what exactly he wrote. The one that's the worst probably is everyone here like makes fun of me like they used to do at school because
They
I
call me
don't
weird.
talk. Please, like talk to me. Like please, like write me back, do something like come see me something. And I think another like it's just like you feel so bad for him when you finally do get like these moments because you're
Yeah.
like, that's horrible. Like that's fucking sucks. Like nobody went, and at first you're like a little confused and you're like, wait, but he did have one really good friend, but we don't fully know about him because we weren't in his head. We were in Olivia's head. But you do learn a lot about him later on when you're in his head back in the time. But he did try to get there and he died trying to get to Malachi the day he was arrested. And that breaks my heart that
I
the
know.
one person who was fully there for him lost his life trying to be there for him. And it's just like, that's heartbreaking.
I need
Like,
to
could you imagine
know
Base
because
trying to get
nobody.
to Cade and he died on the way there and never made it? Like, Cade would never forgive himself for one. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if she. I
no.
don't think she tells him though in this one.
She doesn't tell him. But like we know these things. We knew
Yeah,
about that. She had said
yeah,
that. Like we know that this is
yeah.
happening to him. But so he doesn't know. So he's not even aware that he's not aware that his best friend's
He
dead.
thinks he's been
He's not
abandoned by
aware
everybody because his parents didn't
everybody.
visit him, his
Sister won't
sister,
come see him,
girlfriend.
which we do kind of learn as it goes on that it wasn't for lack of trying. Her mom kind of always got in the way of her going.
Her
But
mom's a
that's a story for
bitch.
another time. Not in this book. We don't necessarily hate her mother in this book. We hate her
Well,
father.
yes, we hate their father, but her
I'm
mom
not
did
saying we
fucked up
liked her,
things.
but we didn't necessarily hate her in this
Not
book.
as,
It's not until
and you
later.
feel, well, and also too, I know we hate her, but like, so we reread this.
Yes.
And he's like, when they're talking, when he kidnaps her, and he goes, and I miss mom. And I'm just like, please don't miss your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No.
And he's like breaking down, and I'm just like, he's like, I could do something, and I just
It's so it's
heartbreaking.
heartbreaking. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
heartbreaking. And a lot of times we do get like the point of views of like the popular kid or this or that or like
Well,
even in like in these
well,
dark romance books
do
that
you
are
think
like
Cade was
fucked up.
popular? Because I think he was.
Cade wasn't necessarily Cade was antisocial. Cade was probably that popular kid that's popular and everybody wants to be his friend, but he's not actually friends with any of them because
Well,
he hates them all.
exactly. Yeah, he was
But like
antisocial, but everyone probably thought he was cool. And
yeah,
Mhm.
because he
Stella
was
was probably
hanging out.
popular.
There's
And
no way that Base and Des weren't popular. They were totally
yeah,
popular, and therefore, so like most books, the male main character is like typically some kind of popular.
yeah,
He's the CEO, or he's on a sports team, or he was popular in high school, like, or he's like the everybody loves him in the small town, or he's got a giant wingspan. Like it's just so it's always like in favor of the guy being cool. Like yes, we do read there are a lot of books where the girl is not necessarily cool and she has dealt with bullying and stuff like that. It's not often where it's the guy. So I
Mhm.
think because of that, it hits harder because you're not used to reading it. You're not used to the guy going through these things and being so vulnerable and like these people like caring what people think. And so it hits you a lot harder. And I think the only other time where it felt like that was honestly with Tobias. Because he was just this homeschooled kid. Like he didn't
Yeah.
have any friends besides Justin, and that's why it got into the situation he did. It's why it got as bad as it
or
did.
Emery.
Exactly. But with Emery, again, Emery is the girl. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I
but
guess
like,
that the Hollow Boys were losers.
yes and no. Like everyone still
Yeah.
like respect. It was like a
Mm,
weird situation where it wasn't
they were
necessarily
scared of them.
respect, but they were scared.
But
There was
Malachi
still
Yeah.
was a
something.
genuine loser in high school. Like,
Yes,
truly.
Yeah.
and not just like and I guess like losers, yes, but like and yeah, losers would be the only other one I
But
can like
they,
truly think of. But even then, they didn't care that these people thought these things about them were doing this. Malachi's like, or not that they didn't care, but like they had people surrounding them that were going through something similar, so they were able to like kind
I
of
honestly, I
like
think
deal.
Malachi just wanted to be normal.
Malachi just wanted someone to choose him and love him.
Yeah.
And we don't know this yet, and we're not going to talk about this until the next book, but when you do learn about why he this whole started with him going mute and why he doesn't feel like anyone ever chooses him or loves him is like it makes it all worse.
Devastating.
Like it's devastating. It's truly heartbreaking. It's just so sad that
Hmm.
like he's like gone through the things he's gone through. Um, but like Olivia, even though she has a past
She
that
was
we don't really find
popular.
out about in this book, she's popular and everything, yeah. But like we find out later that she has like a past from like she didn't grow up because we didn't know where she came from originally. We didn't have a lot on her background in the first book, even though we were in her head.
Well,
Anything predating her
we knew that her
adoption,
parents were drug addicts.
but not until like the second book, not
Hmm.
fully.
You knew.
Yeah, but like not in detail is what I mean.
Oh,
Like it was
yeah.
like briefly stated.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she
Yeah.
moved past it really fast. You don't like fully find out anything that
Yeah.
like
But she was also a
predated.
lot younger when they adopted her.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, she was younger, so it didn't like nearly traumatize her as much as Malachi, but still like it's not the same because she ended up good at getting popular and everything, but she was one of those popular girls that didn't want it. So she has her own issues going on there, and she's doing it because she feels like she has to prove that she was the
Worth
right
being adopted.
choice.
Yeah.
Yes. So in that sense, her and Malachi have that in common, where he wants someone to choose him for who he is, whereas she wants someone to choose her, so she's willing to change to prove that she was the right choice
Yeah.
or is the right choice.
Yeah.
Whereas Malachi just like wants someone to choose him as he is.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. The one thing I want to know, and we should have asked her, but we were so dumbstruck when we met her.
Dumbstruck.
Awestruck,
Starstruck.
sorry.
Awestruck.
Starstruck, awestruck, whatever. I'm
Dumbfounded.
dumbstruck. Dumbfounded, thank you. When we met her, and we talked to her multiple times. It wasn't like a one-off 2-minute thing. Like we talked to her multiple times throughout that event. We never like got the answer about why a gas mask. We never asked. And I want to know. I'm so curious what made her choose a gas mask of all things to be
What made
like,
her choose a gas mask? Probably because it's
yeah,
terrifying.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh my God, she's amazing. If any of you guys have had like a meet and greet or anything where you've met her, like, you know what I mean?
Love her.
Love her so much. But, yeah. Um, I don't know. Malachi's just, I know we're talking a lot about Malachi, but I feel like when it comes to Olivia in this book, all you really get emotion-wise from her is that she is willing to change herself for other people to choose her. You know that she
She's also
is
very naive.
very naive. You know she has feelings for Malachi, but she would never ruin she's less likely to ruin her image for it than he is. She doesn't want because of the thing where she's willing to change herself for her adopted parents to choose her, she would never do something that would jeopardize their relationship. So she's kind of like standoffish in that way. And also like there's like you get like little insights into her head. And then of course like in the future, um, you know that she's not necessarily happy where she's at, but she's still kind of living that life where she's doing everything to please everyone else. I feel like when it comes emotion wise in this book, it's fully Malachi. Even though you only get
Hmm.
POVs from him in the second half, the
Hmm.
emotions feel like they're coming 90% of the time from him.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah,
then,
she's kind of just like, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay. Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's sort of how I felt about her.
I mean, but when you put like the age she was in the
I
past and
honestly,
everything,
I
like,
didn't start liking her until the second book.
yeah. But honestly, when you think about it, though, and you think about the age she was in that, and then she's like, got, I mean, nobody is, I mean, we probably weren't much better at that age either, like, honestly, in the decision-making process scheme of things. And I
Yeah.
know some of the decisions you've made, so don't even make that face that you were, because I know you were not. Decision-making is not the
Well, the
strongest suit when you're
frontal lobe's not
16.
Well,
developed.
yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
think I'm fucking my adoptive brother
Okay,
Okay,
regardless
no.
but
of how
we're
old
not
I
talking
am.
about that standpoint, okay?
Mm-mm.
Just any man
Mm-mm.
in general, when you're that age, you're going to be probably more naive when it comes to that. But
Yeah, naive
yeah,
adult men for
Totally.
sure.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
my
no,
Mean
no.
stepbrother,
none of us
adopted
are
brother.
over here. None of us are over here thinking about a possible adopted brother or anything like that. Okay, you know what I mean. You know, I mean, like you're
I
naive when
get
it
her
comes to
being
men.
naive about the stuff with her mom. I get her being naive about her mom setting her up as suitors and all that whole thing. Get that. But when it came to Malachi, that I will never understand. Because like
We got there
honestly,
somehow.
it just felt like she was just like, "Oh, he this okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay, fine."
And I
You know what I
think it
mean? Like it
feels
and
like
there
that.
never it never felt like there was a development of feelings.
She
And
always just
honestly,
like,
if
yeah.
I'm correct, my interpretation of it, and I could be completely wrong, but this is just my interpretation, because it doesn't feel like that in the second book with her, or even necessarily in like the second half of part two in the first book.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
I'm talking about part one.
it is, yes, but it almost is kind of like because you're not in his head. So really the emotions you're supposed to experience throughout the entirety of part one are Olivia's emotions. So I feel like when it wasn't necessarily that like no feelings were developing. I think Olivia herself knew what she was doing wasn't necessarily right. And so she was blocking her feelings out to herself, which then in turn blocks it out to us because we're not going to know truly how she's feeling. She doesn't even know how she's feeling. She doesn't want to feel those things because of this. And it's kind of like she was denying herself that. So then we're kind of denying that as well because you're in her head, right? So if she's not open to these emotions, then you're not necessarily going to pick up on it. I don't know. That's just my interpretation of
I think
events.
you're close. I think that a part of that is also her being naive and
Yeah,
not sort of looking at what's going on and why she's willing to do these things and why
yeah,
she's okay with it and why she's like, I don't want to get caught
yeah. She's
and
not looking in
feels
on herself.
bad.
Yeah,
Exactly. And feels bad on why, like, when she goes to, what's his fucking name? Parker?
Parker.
Like, when she goes there and, like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm sorry, or why she's jealous that he went on a date and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like, but I think that it all comes with her being naive.
yeah.
Now, part two, I think that's now a trauma bond.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Now that she's
Everything that they've gone through
realized
and everything.
everything, I think
Yeah.
now their relationship is a trauma bond.
Mm-hmm. For
Um,
sure.
I mean, you can say the same thing about any
For
relationship.
romance?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can like Kate and Stacy, sort
Trauma
of,
bond. I mean,
sort of.
like, they went through a lot of trauma
Yeah, but
together, but I,
yeah, but Malachi and Olivia officially got together after the trauma. At least Kate and Stacy were together before it, experienced it together.
yeah.
And I feel like without the trauma, they would have been together. I feel like if it weren't for what Malachi did, they wouldn't be.
I'm don't know if she would have, but at the same time, that day she was planning. That day was complicated, and at first we only have her side of it,
Yeah.
but it kind of you weren't sure if they would have worked out. I mean, they think that it would have,
Yeah.
but like we'll never like really know because of course they do end up together, but the
Yeah.
trauma did happen and there's no way to know if it would have happened without the trauma.
But you also have to think like she also views him as like her protector. Oh, I'm in
Mhm.
trouble. I need to call him and he's like I have to protect her.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
like any sibling would. It's different. I don't know how to explain it. but like,
It's yeah, it's weird because some it's gonna sound so weird saying it, but you're gonna know what I mean. But like it's gonna sound weird. But like there are things in a relationship with the way you act and the way you would act with like your friends and family, like you're going to be it's like some of them are like similar. Like you're going to be protective, you're gonna want to do this thing. So I feel like it's just blurring the lines when it comes to them. Like when they're having sex and doing these other things, it's like, well, yes, but is he doing that because he is in love with you, or is he doing that because I hate saying this, but is he doing this because you're his sister? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like because
he is doing it because he's in love with
he's in
her.
love with her,
She
yes. But when she's doing things, she's
is
doing it because, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like there
calling
are
her
Yeah.
older
certain
brother for
things,
help, calling her older
yes,
brother for a ride home.
like
He has
things that you
now,
would do with your boyfriend, but you would also do with your brother.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Like
like, well,
platonic
where,
things. Yeah. But they could
yeah,
yeah,
also be a love.
for
relationship
Yeah.
sure.
thing. So it's
Yeah.
like,
It does. Yeah. It
and
blurs.
then so the lines are kind of just blurred when it comes to like them and then if you think about it from a 16-year-old standpoint, it's like no wonder you didn't know what you were doing or what was going on
Yeah,
because like I can't figure it out.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
where
And
the
Hmm.
line
also,
is here.
too, because he's been in love with her the whole time, he has justified their actions. He has been like, well, we used to kiss on the mouth as kids. What's the difference?
Yeah.
He has said, oh, like we used to cuddle and hold hands all the time. What's the difference? So he's like manipulating her without like meaning to, because
Yeah,
his mindset's been the same the whole time. It's been like
for him he's always
honed
liked her. He's
in on
always been
exactly.
doing those things because it was a relationship thing. For her it's like when did it stop being because you're my brother and
Hmm.
become because I'm in love with you. And it's even hard for us as readers to like really truly pinpoint it. When did he truly stop being her brother? Because
Them
for
right on the
him,
top
like
of the stairs.
yeah, because he never
Never looked at her like a sister.
ever looked at her like a sister.
No.
She did look at him like a brother,
Yeah.
which is so weird.
Mhm.
Like, ugh.
Hmm.
I don't know how to feel about that, but so it's like
It sounds like we're talking a lot of shit about this
don't
book. We're not. I love this book.
No, it's
we
actually
love this
such a
book.
good book. It's just a
We're just
fucked up
talking
book.
about you can't talk about these things. I'm sorry, none of us are gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, they called each other brother and sister. That was
No.
hot.
Yeah.
Like, no,
No.
like we love this book, but that is like obviously we're not talking about, obviously if we were, it would be like, oh, this book is 5 stars. I loved it because of this, this, and this. We're sharing our opinions, but we're sharing our entirety of our opinions. This book is still 5 stars, but that doesn't
But
mean
there's a
I
lot to.
love when they call each other brother and sister.
But this book, it's not like you kind of can't. Well, you can read it two ways. You can read it at face value, and it is what it is, and you don't look deeper into
Yeah,
things. While we are sitting here and we look deeper into
we're
everything.
looking into deeper. So it's not that shitting on, oh, we're shitting on Olivia because we're saying, well, she was naive about this. She was naive. We didn't like her because she was, no, no, no. It's not one of those like characters in a book where you're like, they're so naive. I can't stand them. It's,
Like Lyndon. Sorry, first person that popped in my head.
but, but it's more of a, she's naive, but we're like talking about why we think she was like that, why it would be like
Yeah.
this. It makes sense for her logically to be naive. It doesn't mean the book was bad. It actually means it was good because she was
There's
able to
levels
like
to it.
there's
Hmm.
levels and there has to be levels and there has to be growth. I'm sorry if a character is perfect at the freaking beginning,
Boring.
like there's no growth. It's boring. They're just the exact same the whole time. Like no, you want them to like have red flags. You want them to have things that they need to work on. That's when a romance book, any kind of romance book, obviously there's contemporaries where it's 90% of it is focused on the romance, and you can go all the way to romantasy where maybe 10% of it is focused on the romance. For a romance to work, both characters need to have their own growth to be
And
able to
storyline
be
that
together.
moves together. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can't have that if you start from perfect. So you need to start off with, maybe you're a little annoyed at something a character did.
I'm
Or
sorry,
you
but I think my
hear that.
my I think my man Rook Van Doren's pretty perfect, and he never
I
deviated from
second
that.
that. I second
I could pick up. I'm sorry. I think that Thatcher Pearson is freaking perfect. That doesn't mean I can't see all that man's red flags and know the things he had to
I
work
know,
on.
I'm just
He had
joking.
to learn to respect his friends and
Yes.
everything. And we're
Oh
not going to
yes.
talk about Thatcher because I could go on forever
No, I
and
know. I
ever.
was
The only
just
blonde
joking.
man I'll ever truly love. I know you think it's hilarious that, of course, of all the characters in that universe, I picked the psychoist of them all. And prior to that, Alistair was my favorite. Rook was never my top. There wasn't a moment in time.
You just
I can
have
save him for
bad
you
taste. I don't know
guys.
what to tell you.
Just different.
That's
Just
why
different
we're
tastes.
that's why we can all be friends. We don't have the same taste at all when it
That's
comes to
true.
men, which can make for some pretty funny moments when it's like you point at someone, you're like, that guy is so hot, and then your friends turn around, they're like,
He looks like a
who?
walking corpse.
Yeah.
Him?
I'm like,
Well, yeah,
okay.
okay, so if Morgan's type walked into a bar, she'd be like, he's so hot. I'd be like, he looks like he is
He's on
dead.
the verge of
He
death.
shouldn't be
Jump
walking.
scare.
And then if I pointed out, oh, that guy is so hot, Morgan would turn around and be like, what the fuck is the hillbilly cowboy doing out here? What the fuck? You're somewhere in the middle of, I don't know where you land,
I
actually.
just go with the flow. I'm like, yeah,
You're just all
Your
over.
vibes
yeah.
All
person.
over the map.
I'm
Although,
totally.
I do have to admit, I love some of the traits that come from Morgan's dead men. I just don't want mine to look dead. I don't know what her fascination with them looking dead is, but oh, it's there. But she also doesn't understand why I would ever want a boyfriend who wears cowboy boots. So it
Biggest red
makes
flag is a
for.
man that wears cowboy boots.
And yeah, I'm just right in the middle of that.
I'm sorry, well, my biggest red flag is a man who looks like he smokes crack on a daily basis. So I'm sorry.
Well,
Anyways, moving on.
But another red flag would be if a man put his tarantula on me and started seeing Itsy Bitsy spider in my ear.
With the gas mask.
Guys, when I was reading that, I got
The heebie-jeebies.
the heebie-jeebies. I felt like I kept touching myself behind my shoulder. I felt like something was crawling on me.
I did this when I was listening to it, and I was pretending to be a spider. I was like, wanted to puke.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know.
She told me to do that too. She actually said, when you reread this, when you get to that part, can you please go and listen to the audio and crawl up your face?
No. Yeah. And you'll hear it's the itsy bitsy spider.
I put a reminder of it. It's fine.
No. But I really did like how
it's actually my favorite.
we were talking about how Olivia had no growth. She did in the last chapter when she decided, fuck this, I am not marrying Xander. I am not doing this, and ran away and went to Malachi.
I think I wouldn't say
she finally put her foot down.
Yes,
finally
I would say
her
yes.
Foot down.
Her foot, yeah, she had gradual growth throughout the book, but all of the growth she was having was within, and it was dealing with her own emotions on how she felt on certain things. When it came to her putting her foot down for what she wanted, that didn't happen till towards the end. But to be fair, she had a lot to work on going on in her brain. We started from ground zero. By the end of the book, we're in a great place. So it's
yeah,
it's just kind of how she is. And also, you have to think there's a 6-year freaking time jump from where she was in the first half of the book to where she is at the end of the book. But
It's
Um,
so strange. I know we're not talking about Little Liar, but when Xander, I guess we didn't read. Did we read these books back to back? No, we didn't because we were waiting for it to come out. Right?
no, the first time we read it back to back. Little
Oh,
Liar was out before Psychotic Obsession.
yes, 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 yes,
Yeah,
yes. That's what it was.
we were
Um,
waiting for Psychotic to come out.
but I like completely forgot how like I love Xander in the second book. Love him. I completely forgot that we were supposed to hate him going into it.
You're also, yeah, you're supposed to hate him for the entirety of the like first half of the second book. Like you're like,
Yeah,
fuck you, bro. I
yeah.
don't like you. How dare you have a book coming for you? Like how I feel about a certain someone getting a book in the Elsie Silver universe. She already has the book, guys. I'm just late to the party, and I'm not
No,
happy
it's not
about it.
out yet.
But Winter's book is out. I'm not talking about
Oh,
Emmett.
I
I'm
thought you were talking about
also
Emmett.
don't think he deserves a book. I don't know how they're going to change my mind on that one, but I don't know how they're going to change my mind on somebody else. But I'm very picky. But what I'm saying is that I did not, yeah, I agree. I did not think there was going to be a time where I was going to be like, "Oh, I'm excited for Xander to have a book."
Yeah,
No. Also, is it Xander or Xavier?
good
It's
question.
Xander. It's Xander. It's Xander.
Yeah, it's
I'm
Xander.
pretty sure it's Santa.
Xander.
It's Xander.
It's Xander. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, super excited for those books later. We'll talk more about Xander next week, but um yeah, you definitely hate him. Hate him in this. Like right
Hmm.
now, can't stand the man. But also like these books like throw your emotions all over the place because you hate their dad in the first book and you're like okay with their mom. And then the second book comes around and you're gonna love their dad and you're gonna hate that bitch. She doesn't even deserve the title of mom by that point.
No,
She's just
no, she's
bitch.
horrific.
Yeah.
Honestly, the first redeeming thing for the dad that started turning the tides on him was when he
Mhm.
helped her escape that wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of see like, oh, okay. And you kind of like when you get Malachi's POVs later, like for the first half, it's like a mix of you're kind of starting to understand more of what was going on with the dad, but also like you still kind of don't like him, like you're not sure where you stand.
Yeah.
And then when you get to part two of Little Liar, it's you really see like there were so many moments where it was mostly that his wife was the catalyst of so many things that made him seem like the big bad evil.
Yeah. But like he
Yeah.
was like, I had a PI follow him ever since he's been out. He's been doing great. Go to him. And like he like pushed that
Yeah.
like when she left the wedding. So it's like
Yeah.
maybe it ain't so bad. Because you started hating the mom a lot towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. By the time the
And
second
their
book
new
ends, you're just like,
sibling.
oh, I love her. She's so cute.
Me
She just
too.
wants to be Malachi's sister so
I
bad. She's
know.
like, come on, just love me back. She even likes spiders. It's like, come on, Malachi. You gotta. But
I think that's it. Because
yeah,
if we
that's
keep
kind of it.
talking,
We're
we'll
just gonna talk about Little Liar,
yeah.
and we don't need to talk about that right now. We're talking about that next week.
There's a
But yeah,
lot of shit that happens in that one.
that was Little Stranger. I think my favorite part of this book is it's such a fucked up moment. I love it so much. Will forever be sorry, sorry, fucking sorry. I love that part so much. I'll never get over how much I like when I read it the first time. Would listen to the audio like on repeat because
Hmm.
I don't know. There's just something I liked how creepy it made me feel. Like it,
Yeah.
yeah. But my favorite movie, Scream. So
I don't even think I have
Honestly,
a favorite part.
it has to be yeah, it just has to be the end when Olivia finally goes to him and is like, yeah, fuck it, I'm in.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like other than that, it's just like I can't say it's the tent.
Sure.
Can't say it's the stairs. I can't say it's the balcony. Like, I have a favorite part that not a favorite part, but it's a good part. But you, I like it in Little Liar because it's Malachi's point of view, but it's when he goes and beats the fuck out of Parker.
Yeah, but in this one,
But
it's
you
not.
don't know what he
Yeah,
did until you get to that one.
yeah.
So it's
It's
like,
kind of
it's
the
kind of
reason
weird because
it's
you're
not.
only getting half a story.
Yes, and it's not. So the reason it's hard to pick a favorite part from this book is not because, once again, the book is bad. We love this book. It's a 5-star book. It's that everything in this book is so like can't exist at all without the next chapter that comes after it, that it's almost hard to pick out a piece and say this is my favorite part because it doesn't make sense with if you don't have what happened before and what happened after it. And then the parts that you can kind of remove are so fucked up if you just say them on their own.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, also too,
you
it's
know,
like I like, for example, the like I said with Parker, but it's half of her calling him, and then you finally get the other half in the second book.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
like that scene as a whole, if you combined them both part ones of both POVs, but because
Yeah, it's
like
just hard to yeah.
yeah,
When we get to Little Liar, we'll give you guys our favorite moment and we'll just
I already
tell you
know mine.
everything in the thing. But yes, same here. But sorry is
Yes, it's
sorry, fucking
iconic.
sorry. It's just iconic. Itsy
Yeah,
Bitsy Spider is iconic. It's creepy, but iconic. Obviously, we have the iconic screwdriver scene in this. So there's just a lot of iconic moments in
yeah,
it.
but
Yeah.
we can't say our favorite part's when he fucked her with a screwdriver now, can we?
No.
Well, we can, but
You can think it.
probably shouldn't.
Keep that one up
Yeah.
here.
Um,
No. I
but
like the
real
sweet
quick,
wholesome when she ran away from her wedding.
yeah. Are you? I love how that's considered sweet and wholesome in our world. Just real quick before we finish this, one final question: Are you team screwdriver or team gun?
Who's holding it?
Screwdriver feels safer, but like, yeah, I don't know.
Who's
Whoever the person that
holding
was
it?
on the end of it each time. And I know gun has happened multiple times, but we'll go with the most iconic, which would be Zaid Meadows.
Oh, then screwdriver. I like Malachi Vise 1,000 times more than I like Sade Meadows.
What about you?
I'm just picking screwdriver because it feels safer. Like, I don't
You
trust
see, I
no man
want
on the other side, so we're going with the
to
screwdriver.
see man-wise, I would pick Zaid, but like Screwdriver does seem like a lot safer, and I feel like I would like be less terrified that I'm about to die with a
Uh-huh.
Oh
screwdriver.
no, if it was Malachi holding the gun, I would still pick him.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, we're gonna end this video here. Morgan can go have some sweet dreams about her dead men, covered in tattoos and dark circles and jet black hair makes him look like the Reapers walking around in the 21st century.
Go fucking have fun with Billy Bob over there on his fucking tractor.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody
Yeah.
said, save a horse, ride. We're so opposite in that way, and it's so funny to me. But
Yep.
that is it for this episode.
Oh.
We will see you guys next week for Little Liar. I almost said Little Stranger. That's what we just recorded. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
Guys.
Yeah, see, Kylie, you were on track that time. I
I
honestly
was
think,
on track.
yeah,
Yeah,
To
that
me,
was
it
honest.
sounded
perfect.
like I started before you guys did.
No, no, that was perfect. I
Yeah.
actually think your ears are delayed.
That was
No, she
insane.
was saying we were listening to a song in the car the other day, and I was singing to it. And she's like,
Like a half
you were
second late.
saying it a half second late, but I know you know the lyrics to that song. But when we do Bye Guys, it always sounds off to me when you guys say it's good.
Or
And when
maybe
I
you have
think
a
it sounds
delay.
good, you guys
Yeah.
say it's off. So I might actually have a delay going on up here. I wonder if it started when I fell, because I hit my head. I wonder. Maybe I caused a delay in my ears.
Oh God.
But I do also I have eczema in there, so I can't hear all the time, and I can't get hearing aids, so I'm just gonna go deaf eventually. But um, that shouldn't affect how fast I hear things.
I think you're just cognitively delayed, Kylie.
Maybe that's why I fell down the stairs.
Holy
You'll
fuck.
ever